Even the kuffar in the past understood that fornication and adultery were despicable actions. So when Hind, radiallahu ta'ala anha, the wife of Abu Sufyan, after they had accepted Islam, and we know what Hind did in her jahiliyyah before her Islam. When she accepted Islam and she's a new Muslim, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is taking that pledge of obedience for them that he would take from the women, and one of them is that they not commit zina. She was astonished by this and said, does a free woman do such an action? Does any woman who's not a slave and a lower than citizen undertake such actions? So here you even have people who are newly from disbelief understanding that fornication and adultery were wicked actions, despicable and disgraceful. On top of that, this fornication or adultery is being done in the open. And that is an additional criticism and rebuke and repugnant action, that an individual would approach these intimate matters and these sexual affairs in the open amongst the public with no shame and no decency. And the Prophet ﷺ told us about how indecent this type of action was when he said there will come at the end of times that the best of people will be a person who tells somebody committing this type of indecency in open, why don't you, take it in private? And we see nowadays the way that people and their voyeurism, and on the TV and on the television and on YouTube, on the websites that are accessible by the children as well as the adults, how this sexual activity is just thrown everywhere. You can't help but get a pop-up. And that indecency is something that even the kuffar used to recognize how foul it was. When you go back in the history and look at things like Leave It to Beaver, how the mother and the father, they slept in separate beds on TV. And how there was no toilet even shown. And Leave It to Beaver, for example, was the first TV show to show a toilet on the TV. And even when they showed the toilet, they only showed the top part and the handle. They didn't show the bowl, because the people of that time understood that that was indecent, let alone a man and a woman engaging in these type of activities that we can't escape nowadays.